The Masters Tournament, in partnership with the RNA and USGA, proudly presents the 2023 Latin America Amateur Championship. Well, nice to be on the northeastern tip of Puerto Rico. Warm at about 80 degrees and a gentle breeze off the Caribbean. Sunshine in the forecast. We're at Grand Reserve Golf Club in the town of Rio Grande, 20 miles east of the capital city of San Juan. Views of El Yunque National Forest, pretty here. This is the golf course that hosts the PGA Tour's Puerto Rico Open, with winners like Tony Finau and Victor Hovland. Designed by Tom Kite, it's par 72. Scorecard yardage of 7,342. It's on the softer side. We had a couple of inches of rain early in the week, and winds can be a factor here. Rich Lerner pleased to be alongside two-time U.S. Open champion Colt Knost, former U.S. amateur champion, or rather Andy North, excuse me. Colt Knost won the U.S. Amateur years ago. Iona Stephen played professionally in Europe. Great to have Iona on our team. And the inimitable John Sutcliffe will handle the interviews throughout the course of the championship. And now some early highlights, and this was quite the kickoff for Puerto Rico. Eric Morales in his 8th appearance at the Latin America Amateur Championship. Pretty good player, Andy.
What an honor to be able to hit the first tee shot for your home country.
It's the guy who finished 15th back in the inaugural in 2015 in Argentina. Same year that he made the cut at the Puerto Rico Open, so he can go. Segundo Oliva Pinto, who was a factor early a year ago at Casa de Campo, plays out of the University of Arkansas on a nice start.
And the first hole is a beautiful starting hole. Very narrow tee shot. Green very receptive today, so there's going to be some birdies there.
May have been the favorite coming in. Fred Biondi, University of Florida, your alma mater, Andy.
All-American there. He won his first 2 college tournaments after his runner-up finish here last year, so this got him moving forward in his college career very well.
Yeah, made 2 late bogeys at Casa a year ago, ended up losing by 1, but said he wouldn't be the player he is today had he not had that experience. Forced him to take a harder look at his game. He got to work, and he's really improved. Here is Biondi at the 4th.
I think the key is that he's consistent through his entire bag. He's a good driver of the golf ball. He's a good putter, and I think his mental approach to the game has really improved.
He played the U.S. Open at the Country Club at Brookline. Also was medalist at the U.S. Amateur Ridgewood. And now our featured groups. Vicente Marcilio, a player to keep an eye on as well. Brazil is represented. Fred Biondi as well, the Brazilian. Sluggish start for Aaron Jarvis. His brother Andrew, by the way, is also playing this week's good player. Carlos Rodriguez from Colombia. Avila from Bolivia. Hector Ortega from Paraguay. Two-hour featured group. And here is Aaron Jarvis. We're at the 8th hole, and let's welcome in our U.S. Amateur champion Colt Knost.
Good morning, guys. Beautiful day out here. Wind starting to blow a little bit, but as y'all mentioned, the course is extremely soft, so these guys can be very aggressive. And Pinto's going to be first to play. Went with fairway wood off the tee, has 151, playing straight downwind. You can see, guys, even straight downwind, that ball hit very soft.
Yeah, shared the first round lead at Casa a year ago. And a crack at it going to the final round. The close was 76. This guy jumped into the breach, made some big putts late and won.
And it's been a struggle so far today. He's missed several tee shots to the left. Actually, that's a really nice angle from over there, though.
Go, go. Go. Golf course conditions are absolutely gorgeous. Not a ton of rough, so if you are a little bit errant, you still can have some opportunities to play. With the soft conditions, you're going to see a lot of birdies made.
Biondi.
The driver off the tee pushed it up here, has just 93 yards left. I'll tell you what, guys, he's a player. He's going to be fun to watch.
His golf swing is improved. Really beautiful rhythm, and what a nice play there. Just completely in control of the spin. Tap in birdie.
Yeah. Andy, he's giving us he's giving himself a lot more looks because he's gone to a cut off the tee. He says 40–50% of the time it's reliable. He's putting it in the fairway.
I don't think he's trying to hit it as hard as we saw maybe a couple of years ago, but first team All-American, qualified for the US Open, really a solid player. And as I said earlier, he won his first 2 college tournaments right after this last year, so he took his disappointment in not winning and turned it into something really positive, and it's really helped his career.
And he's working with instructor Matt DeJohn, and as well has received a lot of help from obviously J.C. Deacon, the head man at the University of Florida, but also a PGA Tour winner and a Florida grad who's helping out the program, Dudley Hart.
Yeah, Dudley's been terrific with these young men at Florida. It's nice to have a guy the guys respect. They know he's done it. He's been there. He has something to say that's going to help him. It carries a lot of weight.
A lot of pride in your fellow Gator, Andy.
Well, I really love his game. I think he's got a wonderful golf swing. He's just only going to get better.
Now at the 11th, birdie putt, Eric Morales is to tie the lead.
What an honor to be able to hit the first tee shot in your home country and then go out and play some really solid golf. 3 birdies so far, no bogeys. That was for his 4th. Talking to some of the players from Puerto Rico over the last couple of days, they are excited about playing here. They've played this golf course a ton of times. They've played a lot of golf tournaments on this course. They feel like they're going to have a winner from this country.
Good young player, Kelvin Hernandez Nieves, who held the 54-hole lead a year ago, is from Puerto Rico, playing at Pepperdine. All right, Colt, what's it like out there right now?
Tell you what, the atmosphere is really light. The guys are talking coming up and down the fairways. Pinto just gave Biondi a little fist bump after he saw how close his approach shot was. These guys are having a lot of fun, but they also know there's a lot on the line. And Andy, you know, you've won a lot more golf tournaments than anybody else on this broadcast. What's it like to be the defending champion?
Well, I wish I could have been defending a whole lot more times, but you know, the biggest thing is that you've got some responsibilities with media. You've got some other things that maybe distract from your preparation, and you're playing on a different golf course in a different country. So yes, you are the defending champion, but that's going to help move forward.
That's the maturity. Spoke to Aaron last night. That's really, I think, the biggest factor. He doesn't panic. He gets off to a slow start. He knows he belongs. He made the cut I mentioned at the Open. Gave him a world of confidence.
I think it's really interesting, too. Last year, there were about 6 or 7 guys that had a chance on the back 9. And he might have been the least likely. He ended up making 4 birdies the last 8 holes and really took command. And I think that gave him a ton of confidence.
Now Pinto.
He's a look here, move from his right to left. And as y'all mentioned, the greens might be a hair on the slow side, but they are perfect.
Colt, I think they're really a speed. The players can be aggressive, and they're going to hold a lot of putts just like that one.
Well, it's looking that way after the last 2 putts.
Check the size of the hole on this hole.
His game's in good shape. Tied 7th in last week's South America Amateur in Ecuador.
How about the players coming from 9,500 feet elevation to sea level? A little bit of change in how far the golf ball's going.
Good scores here early. Biondi for the birdie.
Should be no problem here, just about 3 feet.
A lot of pressure on yourself after the other 2 guys have made birdies, thinking, geez, I can't go ahead and mess this up. I've got to knock this in, and he handled it perfectly. Nice clean start. This is a golf course that if the players make some good decisions off the tee, they can hit a lot of fairways, give themselves a lot of opportunities. And here, an eagle putt at the 9th.
Yeah, this is Juan Ignacio Basgoitia.
And that is two big shots to get on the 9th hole. Almost 600 yards. Not much wind blowing.
So even with the miss there, the tap for birdie, the 26-year-old lawyer, that's right, 26-year-old lawyer from Chile is likely going to take the lead here. Wait, I don't know if you would remember his father, Ignacio Basagoitia, won the 1997 Chile Open. Good player and is Juan's coach. Well, nice getaway for some of these players, putting up red numbers, and for all of us who are lucky enough to be here in sunny Puerto Rico for the Latin America Amateur Championship.
Well, we are at the 8th version of the Latin America Amateur Championship here in Puerto Rico, about 20 miles east of San Juan, on a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Beautiful golf course. Designed by Tom Kite, 1992 U.S. Open champion. Scoring has been very good so far. And what a great honor. Eric Morales hitting the opening tee shot. And yet he is now tied for the lead, 3 under par through his first 11 holes, playing very nicely. The scoring is going to be very good. The golf course is playing soft. Greens are holding nicely. The greens are putting beautifully. I think we're going to see some very, very low scores. And this to get 4 under par. We saw him almost make his eagle putt, tapping in at 2 huge shots to get on the par 5 9th and 2. Just under 600 yards. Got off to a fast start, took advantage of the par 5 9th and onto the back 9. So what a great shot. There's going to be some 65s and 66s out here today.
Back to the opening round. It is a 72-hole event with invitation to the Masters and a spot in the Open on the line, and a good leaderboard in the early going. From Chile, which has had great success at the Latin America Amateur Championship, having won 3 of the previous titles. It is Basagoitia in the lead after the birdie at number 9. What do you think of the golf course, Andy?
I think it's really a nice golf course. Tom Kite did a beautiful job on this property. It's hosted the Puerto Rican Open since 2008. Finau, Hovland both won their first tournaments here. I think it's a golf course that players have to make a decision off the tee. If you can hit the ball 310, 315 yards, which some of these young men can, you can carry over most of the fairway bunkers. If you can't, there's a lot of opportunities to hit 3 woods off the tee, put it in that 250, 260 range off the tee, giving yourself 7, 8, 9 irons.
Puerto Rico Golf Association, founded 1954. President, proud papa this week is Sidney Wolf. And here's a look at that 9th hole, Andy.
Yeah, it really is a nice par 5. Generally, this hole plays downwind. Right now, there's not a ton of wind blowing. Here's a great example. If you can hit it 295 in the air, you've got a nice wide landing area. From that point, you can knock the ball near the green or on the green. If you put it in the rough or you don't hit it as far off the tee, you're probably going to have to lay up just short of these bunkers. But still, nice full sand wedge into this green. You're going to see a lot of motion in these greens. There's a lot of different levels. There's some ridges and mounds. And to get the ball in the right quadrant of the green, if you can do that, you're going to have a lot of birdie opportunities.
Now Pinto.
Not the longest hitter, so absolutely has to smash it to cover that bunker. But guys, this guy, he's a modern day Fred Funk. He stripes it. Has hit around 80% of his fairways last 2 years in college.
It's hard to make bogeys from the middle of the fairway, Cole.
You'd think so, but I'm carrying a microphone.
Cole, really do like the work that Fred Biondi's done. It looks like his golf game's improved every year we've seen him here.
You know, Rich, you mentioned at the beginning he might be the favorite coming in. I think he is hands down the favorite to win this championship. But that also carries a little bit of extra pressure, knowing that if you go out and play up to your ability, you have a great chance of winning this thing at the end of the week. This one heading a little right, not sure if it has enough to cover. Almost got our camera guy.
Few palm trees, but should be okay.
Jarvis, his last two swings off the tee have been big pulls to the left. And there is a penalty area running down the left side of the ninth here. Oh boy, this one is headed left as well. Got a great bounce to the right off the trees and actually is in play.
Wow, we've got great find by our cameraman. That was very, very fortunate.
Let's pick up with the leader. Second shot at number 10.
Back left hole location on a fairly flat, gettable area. Nice to see a working man doing well in this tournament. Rich, you mentioned he's a lawyer, that using his golf, you know, it's hard to get enough time to practice when you're working.
Remember Dominguez from Chile was in the banking industry, past a champion, and we're at number 12 right now, and let's welcome in Iona Stephen.
Good afternoon. It's a lovely day out here. There's an outside chance for birdie, really, for Morales. Difficult to control the pace in the breeze, down the breeze. Very special event for Morales in the proud team Puerto Rico, one of 9 players.
Just so much joy at the clinic they had for some underprivileged kids. Pudge Rodriguez, the Baseball Hall of Fame, great catcher, was there along with Miguel Cotto, International Boxing Hall of Fame member, and everybody just beaming. Given what the island has been through with COVID, dependent on tourism and the hurricanes of 2017, it was a long time coming, and they feel great about it.
Yeah, they've really bounced back strong.
Here is the defending champion. What a performance a year ago. Andy mentioned it. He was kind of off the radar, and then he made his move on Sunday and picked up the big prize in winning the Latin America Amateur Championship. Here is Aaron Jarvis.
He knows he has to make this one, so just get locked in and make a nice aggressive stroke. And how about that four? Yeah, how about that four? He still has a chance.
Played himself right back into it.
Yeah. Yes, left side. That's it. Too hard. Time to celebrate. Aaron Jarvis is the 2022 Latin America Amateur Champion. That took Aaron to Augusta National. A chance to play with former champ Zach Johnson, who also won right here at the home of golf. Aaron, bridge to a new world. A chance to chat with him. He didn't make the cut at Augusta National, but he did birdie 12 both days inside 10 feet twice. He said, Eddie, it's a scary shot, and you would know it. He said, when you finish hole number 11, you walk to 12 tee, you see about 3,000 people, and it hits you. The experience with Zach, he said, was phenomenal. Zach told him, work hard, be yourself, trust the process.
I think the most important thing in this sport to be great at is that you have to understand yourself. If you can understand yourself, know what you need to do to play well, what you need to do to improve, you've got a chance to be really good.
Because he did make the cut at the Open, shot 3 over the opening round. To his credit, he rebounded 3 under on day number 2, playing alongside Sergio Garcia. Ended up shooting 1 over on the weekend, a really respectable performance. So he's at UNLV, not very highly ranked at the moment, but does have that great experience to lean on. And I think the fact that he made the cut at the Open tells you there's some game there.
Well, and that's a memory. No matter what happens in his golfing career, the memories he had last year will be with him forever.
His coach, Zach Parker, says that Aaron now believes he belongs. He's realizing that he just needs to be himself, and who he is, according to the coach, is a charismatic, outgoing guy with some swagger. And they saw that through the 6 rounds that he played at the majors.
That looked like
so far.
That looked like a better swing, Cole.
Those low lefts off the tee get you in trouble, Andy.
Yeah, it looked like he was synced up much better with that iron swing than it was the driver.
Walking out of Augusta Sunday night, Tiger was gracious enough to spend a few minutes with Aaron, and he told him, keep doing what you're doing, believe in who you are.
And I'm sure Tiger told him to keep working hard. That's the common thread.
And now the leader at 10, Basagoitia.
Yeah, pretty much a little just downhill, not a ton of break. Holes and cut in sort of the bottom of a little bowl. Just leaked off. He's got a stretch of holes coming up. 11's a par 5, 12's a short par 4. There's some birdies opportunities ahead of him.
So we mentioned that he's an attorney. Of course, the legendary Bobby Jones, greatest amateur of all time. I think the reason we are here today, a lawyer. Vicente Marsilio, one of the runner-up finishers from a year ago. This to get to 3 under.
Ball's rolling beautifully on these greens. Cole mentioned probably 10 and a half instant meter, not exceptionally fast, but there's enough slope. If you've got some downhill putts here, you have to be careful.
He's a junior at North Texas. And gave us Carlos Ortiz and Sebastián Muñoz. Seb Muñoz, an alum of the Latin America Amateur Championship. One of 8 from Argentina, the most tradition-rich country in terms of golf in the region, producing a couple of major champions.
South American Amateur was played last week. Quite a few of these guys were there playing. He finished in the top 10, so he's coming in here with some momentum.
Those major champs from Argentina, the legendary Roberto Di Vicenzo, Angel Cabrera. Manuel Merazaldi from Colombia.
It's going to be important this week that this is a golf course that if you drive the ball halfway decently, you're going to have a lot of birdie opportunities. You want to eliminate the mistakes. This is a golf. You also can hit it in some penalty areas. There's a lot of that around the golf course. If you can eliminate the bogeys and doubles, you're going to have a great week.
Eso es 270 tramos. ¿Cuánto tramo? O sea, con este viento le tiraría más. No sé si pegar las 3 o las 5. Parece que las 5 mejor puede caer más flojo. 3 fue sabemos mejor. No te puedes pasar si pegas. No, pasa nada. Sí, no lo voy a pasar. No, ¿a dónde me voy a ir, bro? A una. Voy a la torre. A la torre, perfecto. La base de la torre. ¿Cómo lo ves?
Looks as if it caught that front right bunker.
Biondi.
Ball below his feet. He probably has to hit a little cut here anyway, so that lie will be good for that. Palm tree's just in his way. Start off the left edge of the green and let it work its way back to the right. Guessing he overdid it. It's going to be short and right of the green. Full cut. In the back portion of the green, not a ton of room to work with, but it should be soft enough to get it back there. You're trying to cut it, and the lie will help you cut it even more. You just got it going to the right, and he can handle it from over there.
Think about what he's done in the last 7 years or so. He came to America by himself as a 15-year-old, go to the Club Med Golf Academy. His father gave him sort of 6 months to see if he liked it and if he could show some promise and talent. He did. Told his folks he wants to stay. And then his parents, a couple of years later, took a place in South Florida, back and forth between Sao Paulo and South Florida. Dad's in the advertising business. Mom was in graphic design and now has a business where she bakes and sells macaroons. A talented family. His brother Leo, by the way, is a very successful professional video gamer.
Well, so many great opportunities through this great game.
At 11, bit of trouble for Basagoidia, though it is a par 5.
This ball's going to have to just absolutely slice 50 yards to get it back into play. He did a beautiful job of doing that. With it being a par 5, that helps. He just got it back in play, and he'll set up a third shot. Still has an opportunity for birdie.
And as we go further on, attorneys who can really play. Masters Tournament Chairman Fred Ridley is an attorney and former U.S. amateur champion, and like you, University of Florida.
Chairman Ridley has been a great friend for over 50 years. And terrific player. We had a lot of fun together. We're at Florida at the same time. He's used his golf very well in his business world.
Okay.
Committed, as so many, to amateur golf and growing the game here and around the world. Colt is back with us here at the 9th with Aaron Jarvis.
After that wayward tee shot, he's still got a great opportunity to walk away with a 4 here. This from 134. Got to make sure you get it over a slope of about 128. Keep seeing that left shot, guys. That's going to be something to watch for.
He'll have to putt up over the slope Colt was just talking about. But it could have been a disaster. Ball, great kick out of the penalty area on the left, off the trees.
Let's go to the 13th with Morales, and Iona's there.
200 yards left for Morales, and it's a northeasterly breeze at the moment, helping. So he's got a 6 iron in his hand.
Really a tough hole location here, 13, just over Little Ridge, very close to the left edge of the green. It's going to be tough to get it anywhere near that hole today.
Talking to the Puerto Rican players yesterday, and they have the most experience, obviously, on this golf course. They said it's always windy here, and it's always from the east, about 15 to 20 miles per hour. Adding, the course is in the best condition they've ever seen it.
Well, in the first 2 days of the practice rounds, there's literally no wind at all. So when the wind starts picking up, they're going to have a huge advantage having played here quite a bit.
Now, Biondi.
I'll say this, guys. I've been here several times, and I've never seen it this calm.
Colt, you played it in the Puerto Rico Open. So what do you think of the golf course in general?
It's a great golf course in great condition. Like Andy said earlier, if you can fly at 300 yards, you have a massive advantage around here, which most of these young kids do. This one coming in a little hot. He is not going to be happy with that.
No, but that was a tough angle. We saw a great camera shot of the bunkers he had to play over. He's got it on the top level, so it's still a possible make. Really disappointed with the second shot to put it in that position.
And Andy, I sure don't miss shots like these.
Yes, this long bunker shot.
Yeah, above his feet on a little bit of an uphill lie. I mean, you just got to commit. Are you going to hit a chunk and run, or are you going to try to fly it? He kind of dumped it. Going to come up way short.
Anytime the ball's above your feet on a long bunker shot, your tendency is to get a little bit too much sand.
What's the right way to go about hitting that shot?
Well, you just have to work the club up the slope. You can't be playing into the slope, and it's hard to get your right shoulder low enough sometimes in a shot like this. But you can see a ton of sand. Beautiful camera work. There's so many different ways to play these bunker shots. You've got to feel what's comfortable for you. Cole talked about chunk and run or trying to fly it all the way back there. You just have to make up your mind and play the shot you want to play.
Goitia now third at the par 5 11.
After the tee shot right behind one of the palm trees. Holes way over in the back right-hand corner in a little flat area. Oh, man. My gosh, what a fantastic shot. That to go 5 under. Looks like he's totally in control. Maybe he hit a few balls last week, didn't spend as much time grinding for clients.
We're in Puerto Rico, a little reggaeton around that hole right there. That was dancing.
It's a beautiful golf course. I think we'll see some wind as the week goes on. That's what makes this. When you're building a golf course in an area like this, you build it around the wind, and when the wind doesn't blow, it really changes how the golf course plays. Now Jarvis from long distance. Coming up over a little slope right in this area. Another good roll. The ball's staying on the green. You're seeing how smoothly it's rolling. And the greens are a speed that players can be aggressive. Not really worry about the ball rolling out the last 2 or 3 feet when the greens, you see on greens that get really quick. Not a bad par after he hit it into the penalty area and it kicked out back into the rough. Good break, took advantage of it.
Andy, just a shout out and our best wishes to Jeff Hall of the USGA, recovering from some health complications. Know he's on his way back. How much he loves this championship. Get well, Jeff.
Yeah, he was here almost every single year. We'd spend time with him out on the golf course. Now Pinto for his birdie. Okay, well judged. Players all had the ability to reach this green in 2 or get close to it, and all left themselves with long birdie opportunities, so probably not terribly pleased. You really need to take advantage of the par 5s on this course.
Biondi.
Three nice putts from distance. 3 easy pars.
Now, Torres, his third here at the 11th.
Not a ton of green to work with. Ball sits up nicely in this short rough around the greens.
Eduardo Derbez Torres, he is one of 6 representing Mexico. 17-year-old. This is a player to keep an eye on, making his LAAC debut. More on him in a moment. And now Morales at 13.
Great look at the flagstick, the wind picking up. I think as we go through the day, we'll see quite a bit more wind.
Really gorgeous day. And while we have a moment, let's go down to John Sutcliffe. Apologize for that. We'll get back to John momentarily. In the meantime, we'll rejoin our leader. Here he is at the 11th hole. Trying to be the first of 5.
Left hand low, really keeps your shoulders level. This is a great way to start a young player out playing. One of the advantages is that your left hand leads a little bit better. Don't break down. 5 birdies, no bogeys. What a start.
Dominguez, Ghana, Niemann, all from Chile. All Latin America amateur champions. Who knows, maybe a 4th. Early on, it is Juan Ignacio Basagoitia, 5 under, leading Puerto Rico's Eric Morales and a few others by 2 shots here in Puerto Rico. The Latin America Amateur Championship is brought to you by Bank of America. What would you like the power to do? IBM, let's create. AT&T, fast, reliable, and secure. Mercedes-Benz, electric made extraordinary. Featured group has made the turn. This is Oliva Pinto, 3 under at the 10th.
Just into the right hand rough. Shouldn't be a problem. Hole cut in the back left, so you'll have a good angle.
Biondi.
Andy, it's always uncomfortable when that wind's off your back. Left or right for a right-handed player is not much fun.
Yeah, but there's a big enough driving area at 10. I think the players feel fairly comfortable, but that left to right hard wind is really tough. Beautiful look of the clubhouse in the background. Gorgeous day. our defending champion.
And maybe that good break off the last can turn his round around. Needs to find a fairway. This one actually heading a little right. Clips a tree.
All right. Oh, it didn't go left.
Did not see it down.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be okay, Colt. It's just down on the right-hand rough. Should have a decent angle come in. Yeah, he needs to sync everything up. He's got to go in both directions. Yeah, here's the 10th. Really a nice hole. The wind normally is going to be blowing from the left to right. 280 to the bunker on the left, 313 all the way. A good spot to play on so many of these par fours, that 150-yard marker. Some of the holes you can hit 3 wood to that. To the left back hole location, there's a ridge on the right center of the green. You can run the ball off to get it closer to the hole. Even coming from the left edge, it comes down a little hill. So you're right in the bottom little valley of a quality second shot here. You can get it very close to the hole.
Let's bring in Iona with Eric Morales, par putt here at 13.
Good first putt to this point. Nice pace from off the green. Now just trying to tidy up for par. Keep the momentum alive. That's going to sting a little bit. Just a bit of nerve starting to show at this stage for Morales. Needs to keep his composure now.
First bogey, a really nice clean card.
Vasagoidia.
Par 4 12th is a hole that really requires a good tee shot. It's bunkering down the right-hand side, some palm trees on the left. And if you have great length, as he does, he just took it past everything. He's going to have nothing more than a wedge left.
Latin America Amateur Championship debut 2015, growing the game in this region with more. Let's go down to John Sutcliffe.
Hola, Rich. It seems like if it was yesterday, 7 years ago, we were in Pilar in Buenos Aires for the first time this event had been played. And from Gurabo, Puerto Rico, Kelvin Hernandez is going to make his debut this week. Kelvin, take us to that moment when you were watching on TV how that tournament was unfolding between Matias Dominguez and Ale Tosti.
Yeah, it was 7 years ago. I was around 10 years old. I was sitting at home watching in the TV, and I was like impressed about how they played, how they managed themselves, and I was like, one day I'm gonna be there. Like I'm trying to get in there in that tournament. I was impressed by how they played, they managed themselves, and I was like excited to watch them play and how it played out. So I'm excited to be here today.
You had a great week at the Orange Bowl. What does it mean to make your debut in casa, at home in Puerto Rico?
I'm very proud. I'm honored to play my first Latin American Championship here at home at Grand Reserve in Puerto Rico. I know I'm playing good. I have the game. Just try to stay mentally in the game, and I'm excited for this week.
Any message to everybody watching and coming out to see you today?
I want to thank everybody that's coming out this week, my family, friends, trying to put on a show for you guys. So, yeah, thank you, John.
Gracias.
And, John, before we leave,
yeah.
Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football. Rich, Andy.
That call from John Sutcliffe has become legendary in sports broadcasting. Monday Night Football.
When Monday Night Football goes to Green Bay, my wife and I have been able to help John on the sidelines. She's held his light, and I have been her cable guy. So it's always fun to be around John, and we've had a blast.
And you see, nice tradition of golf here in Puerto Rico. Host the World Cup, 1961, 1994, World Amateur Team Championships, 2004. And then we think of Puerto Rico. It is all about World Golf Hall of Fame member Juan Antonio Chichi Rodriguez.
Yeah, I've
Juan
played a lot of golf with Chichi. He was an unbelievable entertainer. He and Lee Trevino probably brought more people to the golf course for non-golf than any two players we've ever had. Beyond it.
Even though it wasn't his turn, he went ahead and played. They encourage ready golf here at the LAC.
Yeah, I think that, Colt, that's a great point. I think that's fantastic. We've seen that over the last couple of years. The speed of play has been really good. If a guy is having problems around a tree or trying to play a shot, the other players play.
There's Torres.
Rich, there's one thing that we've seen over the course of these last 7 years. The quality of golf has really improved. The golf swings have really improved.
Pinto.
That from 177 in the right rough, heading at the center of the green.
He's on a different level than where the hole is cut, but safely on.
Aaron Jarvis.
He's got to kick a field goal between these two palm trees and then try to slide it just a little bit from his left to right.
You're wondering why he might want to not go right to left. Well, the wind is blowing left to right, so this is an easier play.
This is fading towards the hole location. Needs to get down a little.
Yeah, that'll be a pretty simple, easy up and in from back there.
Now back at 12 with a leader.
No more than just a gap wedge. Back left hole location. Have to be a little bit careful not to go too long. Because of that, that's generally what you see. Over the green, not a good spot. Hole's only cut 4 or 5 yards to the back, so you're going to naturally come up a little bit short.
Juan Ignacio Basagoitia from Chile, one-shot lead on Santiago de la Fuente from Mexico at the Latin America Amateur Championship.
Morales over at the 14th hole. Short par 5. Player should be able to take advantage of this hole. Iona, you've been out there with him. How does he look?
Always tricky, this little one. Into the wind, needs to give it plenty of gas. He's going to have a look at birdie anyway.
Yeah, it's a hole that you really stand on the tee, you feel like you're going to make birdie if you hit a couple of decent shots. Fairly flat putt he'll have, but a gorgeous day of golf. Just a nice breeze right now. We expect the wind to increase as we go through the week. Quite a bit of rain over the last 2 or 3 days, and it comes here, it'll be dead beautiful, and then it'll get a little squall that comes through and throws a ½ inch of rain down. So the golf course has struggled to really dry out. I think right now it's playing very nicely for the players.
Right, I can go.
See Jarvis getting ready to go here behind the 10th. Just a nice straightforward little chip and run. Chipping right down through a little saddle. Got a chance to make it. Oh!
Well, there he is. Chichi Rodriguez makes the World Golf Hall of Fame with those 8 PGA Tour wins, but for Chichi was about so much more than just what he accomplished on the golf course. It's what he contributed to the game, how he helped to grow it in this region, how he gave back.
Well, he was an absolute superstar, particularly here in Puerto Rico. He was an unbelievable entertainer. He did some of the best golf clinics you've ever seen. The shot making that he would show, it was always fun to watch him.
Biondi at the 10th.
Pretty straightforward here, but this one's carrying a lot of speed.
Yeah, that's a good 7, 8 feet by the hole at least.
That was not that difficult of a shot.
Basagoitia for birdie at the 12th.
Not a ton of break here. He's on kind of a little bit, about 6 or 8 feet, going up a little slope, but then it's almost dead straight around the hole. Another putt with good speed. He is in complete control right now. Driving the ball well, hitting some nice iron shots. A couple of great recovery shots, so he's having fun out there.
All right, we're here with Pinto. Jarvis made his par at the 10th. And while we have a moment, just on Chichi Rodriguez, how he got the name Chichi. He loved baseball as a kid. There was a baseball player in Puerto Rico named Chichi Flores. And so already with a flair, even as a youngster, Chichi would walk to the mound. He was a pitcher and would say, "I'm Chichi Flores." And Chichi tells the story that he played Little League Baseball with the greatest Puerto Rican legend of all time, Roberto Clemente.
Well, Chichi was a great storyteller and loved life and has done so much helping youngsters. Still gives lessons. You'll see him every once in a while around events, helping people. And Chichi's, you know, well into 80s.
You played with all the legends. I'm talking about Bobby Locke, Gene Saras, and Nicholas. Keep going.
You're telling me I'm old. That's what you're saying.
Did anybody ever move the ball quite like Chichi?
Chichi's the best curver of the golf ball. Trevino was close, but Chichi could hit, and he would try shots in tournaments where he'd try to draw it 30, 40 yards with a 7-iron and get it coming in, running into a left hole location. He was amazing. Now Biondi with his par save at 10.
I mean, what a save that was.
Yeah, it's good work right there.
This guy's got all the tools. He's impressive.
Well, and they're enjoying their round of golf. You can see them talking to each other, encouraging each other.
Back to Torres. I mentioned he's a player to watch. Here he is at the 12th. Last June, Andy, he won the Western Junior. That's the oldest national junior tournament in the United States. Guys like Colin Morikawa, Ricky Fowler have won it. Keep an eye on him. Now Pinto.
Western Golf Association does a wonderful job with their championships. They've got the juniors are great. The Western Amateur is a fantastic event. The Western Open, obviously, for over 100 years in Chicago. That's now become the BMW. As a kid, there's certain events you wanted to play. The Western Junior was one of them. US Junior was another one.
And if you're in this region, this is
it.
The one. This is the one you want to play.
Power is better than Gatorade. No, it's not. No, it's not. Maybe the purple. No.
So Jarvis is the defending champion. He was a surprise winner, unquestionably, a year ago. 108 players. And what's nice is the organizers, Masters Tournament, RNA, USGA, pick up all the expenses. They didn't want cost to be a deterrent. 28 different countries and territories, Puerto Rico, and this is nice to see, with 9, and we expect that some may have a chance to contend. Maybe Kelvin Hernandez, who we just heard with John, he was runner-up, another prestigious junior event, the Junior Orange Bowl a week ago in Florida.
Yeah, that's the Junior Orange Bowl is another one of those great junior tournaments. It's usually held around the Christmas vacation, so as a kid, I came down and played as a junior.
From Wisconsin.
Having no game at that time of the year, but it was always fun to go down there and play against the best.
No game, but a strong desire to get out of Wisconsin, as great as it is, in the wintertime and down to South Florida. And we're thrilled to be in magnificent Puerto Rico. Grand Reserve Golf Club in Rio Grande, Puerto Rico, live at the 11th tee with Oliva Pinto of Argentina.
Short par 5. If you can get the ball in the fairway, it's a great birdie opportunity, but he has lost this one to the right. Covered the bunker. Should be down in the right rough.
Great view. There's a ton of palm trees around that area. It just depends on what might be in front of him. Here's a look at that tee shot. Penalty area down the left. So you're kind of sneaking it down the right anyway. Great balance. Good big full follow through. Nice look at Biondi from behind. Breeze with, a little left to right.
Yeah, it's blowing pretty good right now, Andy. But this is one of those holes you step up, you definitely feel like you have to make 4 at worst.
Oh, absolutely. And Biondi looks like he's just striped it down the middle.
That is in the dead center of the fairway.
Yeah, I think you've got to take advantage of the par 5s out here. They're if not reachable, you can get it right around the greens. And you know, there's enough tough par 4s here. You've got to take advantage of the 5s. See if Jarvis can hit a good tee shot. He's had it all over the place with the driver.
He's got this on the far right side of the tee. It looks like he's going to try to hit a fade and ride that wind.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're not driving it particularly well, is you can make yourself try to play a shot. You know, make sure you're going to cut it, or make sure you're going to draw it, and take the other side out of play.
That was his best of the day.
Slide over. Okay. You can't hit fade.
Second now at 13. Segovidia.
This is the whole location we saw a little bit earlier, way in the back left-hand corner. Got to be a little bit careful. Maybe a little heavy. It sounded a little thick.
Let's bring in Iona with Morales at 15.
As Colt mentioned, it is blowing here, and this is a very exposed part of the golf course. 6-iron for Morales.
Generally, it blows really hard from left to right on that hole.
And part of a good finishing stretch here at Grand Reserve. There is Torres at 13.
You'd like to take it at the camera tower, middle of the green. Just let it drift right to left to get it in that left-hand quadrant. Did exactly that. What a shot.
That's a good showing for Mexico.
Do we call that learner length?
I struggle from that spot these days. We have some breaking news, Andy. I think this is really big. The announcement just coming that the USGA, following suit with the Masters tournament and the R&A, will offer an exemption, full exemption into the U.S. Open that begins this June at LA Country Club North. Mike Wan, the CEO, saying this furthers the USGA's commitment to developing golf in the region, and it recognizes the level of talent competing for the Latin America Amateur Championship. Andy, this now along with, obviously, the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship, and clearly the U.S. Amateur Championship and the Amateur. This is one of the 4 biggest in the world now.
Oh, absolutely. And what has happened with the Augusta National and the Masters, the USGA, and the R&A working together, they've been able to accomplish things that no one thought that could be done, and they have changed the way golf is viewed in so many parts of the world. Congratulations to them.
Collaboration between all the powers that be in the game has been one of really good offshoots of these championships being created.
Think about, you win this week, you're in 3 major championships. Wow, what a summer.
It is not a cliche to say. That's a life changer.
It is absolutely, and no matter what you would do in golf the rest of your life, those would be memories that would never leave you.
This guy knows all about it. Aaron Jarvis. Yeah, great personality, Aaron. Going to get a degree in hospitality from UNLV. Torres all over the flagstick. And so a second birdie on this side, 6th for the day. He's filling it up. He's 4 under and only a shot back.
I think this is a golf course you're going to be able to make some birdies on, but you just have to eliminate those squares on the scorecard. 11th hole, beautiful look from behind the green. Hole cut right in the very right-hand corner of this green over the bunker. Not a lot of green to work with. It's not a very deep green.
Andy, you mentioned, I mean, this green is very tiny. Where this hole is located, the green is just 10 yards deep. So Biondi has 235, 230 to cover and 240 behind it.
Yeah, I think this is, you know, have you looked around that part of the green that if you do miss it long or right or short, there is a little bit of room to chip and pitch. Obviously, if you want to hit it on the green, put it to the left center of the green. It's a much larger area, but then you're left with a pretty long putt up a little ridge.
He's got a hybrid out. I expect him to throw this way up in the air with a big cut. And with the greens being soft, I think he can stop it if he flies at the right number.
I agree.
And that's exactly what he's done. This is on a great line if it's the right number.
Oh, what a great shot. And it just trickles over the green, but really a nice area to pitch from. Not a ton of green to work with, but still.
You know, that's a shot where he's saying, I can't hit it any better.
Yeah, exactly.
Tester here for Segovia. He's up to it.
Boy, he's got a lot of confidence. He's rolling the ball beautifully.
Pinto.
He caught a great break, had just 215 with no tree trouble at all. That one's going to come up a little right of the green.
Yeah, but it's not a bad area to pitch to. The ball sits up nicely in the areas around these greens, so you can pitch the ball from pretty much anywhere. You can see what a small area that is to play into. Now Jarvis.
I hate to say it, but he might have had the hardest shot of the three just because he was coming off a pretty severe downslope in that fairway.
He played probably pretty good, made a pretty good decision. Put it out in the left in the bigger part of the green.
I don't think you can have a longer putt.
No, definitely not, but it is a putt for an eagle. He's had pretty good distance control with the putter today, so hopefully he can do it from 60, 70 feet away.
14th tee with the leader of the Latin America Amateur Championship, Juan Ignacio Basa Goitia.
Really short par 5 number-wise, but it usually plays right back into the wind. There's a bunker on the right that comes into play. Ooh, see how close that is to that palm tree.
What a great start for the young man from Chile and for this Latin America Amateur Championship, with the news breaking that the winner will also get an exemption into the U.S. Open along with the Masters and the R&A. Lots on the line, lots of great play here in Puerto Rico.
Morales 15 for birdie after making a bogey a couple holes prior. Yeah, another par. But he is one of only 4 players who've played in every single Latin America Amateur. That's pretty cool. And having the honor of hitting the first tee shot today, he will remember that for a long time. And here are the, hey, thank you. That was a wonderful work by the truck. Here are the picture of the 4 gentlemen who've played in all 4. And there's one thing in common. They're all fairly elderly considered around all these 17 and 18 and 19 years old. But every single one of these players have had good results here too. Remember a few years ago, Alvaro Ortiz missed the playoff by 1 shot. I believe he bogeyed the 72nd hole to miss the playoff. Donius, he is excited. Possibility of maybe going back to Panama one of these years again. But what a great deal to be able to play in every one of them.
Oliva Pinto. This is the first round of the Latin America Amateur Championship.
And not a ton of green to work with, Colt.
No, but he's only about 25, 30 feet from the hole. Really nice lie. Green soft. No problem.
Yeah, well executed. Nice little dead-handed play. Not trying to spin it, just to hit it softly enough that it just kind of dies on its own. He played it perfectly.
Colt, what did you think of that news that the USGA is now offering an exemption to the champion here for the US Open?
Just awesome. So happy for everyone involved. I mean, these kids have got to be thrilled knowing that they can play in at least 2 major championships next year if they get the job done here this week. Just continue to grow the game of golf. I love it.
3 major championships. So
sorry, 3.
Yeah, it's the Masters, it's the Open, and now the US Open.
I think this is a good play with the putter from back here.
Yeah, he's gone back and forth from wedge to putter, but going back into the wind, I actually thought he would chip it. But safety first.
Is it into the grain going up this hill?
It is, and much slower than the greens.
Not bad. I think he probably could have pitched it that close. But that's this, you know, for folks at home watching, if you've got a chance to put the putter in your hand from off the edge of the green, do it.
Now at 14, here's the leader.
Good break. No tree trouble here. Back into the breeze. You can take a rip at it. Strong. Now he might have some tree trouble. Wow, that is short right of the green, and it looks like it's going to be right behind one of those palm trees. He may not be able to get it on the green from there.
And back at 11 now, Jarvis, long ways for eagle.
Yeah, this putt is 27 yards or 81 feet, whichever one you want to do.
How about meters?
I'm not that smart. I went to SMU.
Just run at about 8 or 10 feet by the hole. I think he's a little surprised how well that ball rolled up that hill. Some beautiful shots. The golf course, the mountains in the background. Now Jarvis for his 2-putt birdie.
Should have got a pretty good idea of what this one does as it rolled by the hole. This for his 2nd birdie of the day, and much needed.
Yeah,
considering some of the scores we've seen so far.
Getting back to even par. He hasn't had his best stuff. There you go, nicely done. You know, the real secret of playing this golf, particularly tournament golf, would have days you'd struggle a little bit, and you still can get it in at even or 1 under par, that sort of thing. And he looks like he's in the process of saving this round right now. That was a beautiful putt, just right in the middle of the hole. Perfect speed.
Biondi.
You feel like you got to make this one after a perfect drive and what you thought was a perfect 2nd shot.
That feels like making a bogey.
That'll be an angry short walk over to the 12th.
Played beautifully so far. Just disappointed with that par.
Segundo Olivo Pinto.
His college coach, Brad McMakin, is here. I feel like half the Arkansas team plays in this event.
It's amazing the number of players. 72 players in this field have a connection to a college in the United States. It's become a great area to recruit. See a few coaches sneak down here and see what some of these younger players look like.
It's a place to be seen. So the University of Arkansas, here we go. Pinto, Julian Perico, who's contended frequently, actually had the 36-hole lead a year ago before backing off. Manuel Lozada, and one of the other favorites this week, Mateo Fernandez de Oliveira, excellent player.
Yeah, and once you get a connection, we've seen this happen at Texas Tech. We've seen it at multiple colleges here, that once a coach finds some of these young players, it just leads to the next guy coming and the next guy coming.
Torres at 14.
He's got a nice look at it. Holes cut in the kind of the front right-hand portion of the green. If you could slide it in from left to right. Oh, perfect position. Just short left of the green. Nice little easy pitch going right up at it.
Jarvis 12.
Playing downwind, short par 4, just going with iron off the tee. Really gets narrow around 250.
I think this is a good play. You play up just short of that. He's right about that 150-yard marker. Or you take driver and try to carry all the bunkers, which we've seen. Yeah, particularly if you're not very happy the way you've driven the balls. Going with the long iron's not a bad play. Here's a fairway medal.
But Andy, I will say, other than the par 5 14th, this is really the last birdie hole on this golf course. It gets pretty tough from here on in.
The wind really affects the holes once you turn back at 14. Back into the wind at 14. Severe side wind at 15. Back into the wind at 16. Side wind at 17 and 18. So wind doesn't help you from this point on. This is a hole that possibly as we go through the week, they might move up a tee or two and give the players a chance to try to drive it on the screen. That's always fun.
And Biondi's going with driver. We saw him do this over at the short 8th. And he's hit pretty much the dead center of every fairway, so why not?
He just looks real comfortable with the driver, Cole. Looks like he sort of aims down the left-hand side and just block fades it fairly straight right down the middle.
Oh, this is a bullet right down the center. Gorgeous shot.
One of the aspects that he focused in on after the disappointment of a year ago at the Latin Am with his team, his coaches, was see the game the way you see it, play it the way you want to play it, and that's when they went to this fade, reliable, and it's made a difference.
Well, I think it's, we've talked so much about owning your game, understanding what you need to do to play well. And he's now figured that out.
Don't play someone else's game. Those young kids.
Well, I want to swing like Tiger. No, you can't swing like Tiger.
Exactly.
Figure out what you can do.
Pasagoiti at 14.
A little bit fortunate. He's got some room. He can carve this a little bit left to right. It's not a very long shot, so you're not going to curve it very much. But at least get it bouncing to the right. Not the easiest shot, but he's got a pretty decent little pitch. He'll get this up and in.
This is live. This is Derbez Torres.
Just really looking right at it. You'd expect him to get this up and in 90% of the time.
Mexican Golf Federation made significant investment in the game. They're committed. More and more you talk to the heads of the federations across Latin America. Tremendous level of excitement and opportunities to grow. It's the second round from Puerto Rico.
beautiful look down some golf holes. You understand why so many people enjoy coming to this part of the world. It's always warm. Some great resorts. This is one of them. Beautiful golf course that Tom Kite designed. Very playable. And I suspect there's a lot of water activities here that people could enjoy. This is the 9th hole that's the closest, coming down with all the water and mangroves on the left. You see the clubhouse becoming closer to the middle of our frame. And they've got some other holes here. It's more than just 18 holes. It's a beautiful, beautiful facility. The mountains in the background. Gorgeous sights. Rainforest, literally only 10 miles from where we sit. And if you want to do some hiking up on top of the mountains in the rainforest, it is absolutely fabulous.
Beautiful day here in Puerto Rico, sort of the northeastern tip outside of San Juan. Rio Grande, this is a Grand Reserve Golf Club. It is Segundo Oliva Pinto. Just a shot back here. Colt Knost is following.
Jarvis came up about 30 feet short and right of the hole. Now Pinto has just 121. Hole located on top of a little shelf. Got to be very precise. He's hung this one out to the right. Not happy.
The shelf is only about 20 feet by 20 feet. It's nice flat area. If you can get it back there, there's a great chance to make birdie. Got to look at it. So everything stopped a little bit as he got into the shot, caused it to hang out to the right. Didn't quite finish releasing through the ball.
A divot there, Andy, or a little depression? It's okay from that angle.
Yeah, I think
it was just a little grass up
initially.
The
there was
right?
Yeah, it's going to be okay.
Yeah, it's sitting just fine, guys. And like we saw back at the 8th with that aggressive play, he had just 93 yards back there and stuffed it. Here he's got 85 and another golden opportunity.
You expect him to get it within 10 feet here. If he does that, it'll be a great birdie opportunity in this flat area of the green.
Coming in low and a little warm. Oh boy, big mistake.
Oh, that is the last place you can go. It's well over the green. That will be a difficult up and in. Major mistake. Slow-mo club coming into the ball. Maybe shut the club face down a little bit. Trying to hit a 3/4. And it came in there hot. After missing the 5-footer for birdie in the last hole, he does not want to give one away here.
Pasagoidia at 14.
This is his 4th after running through the green. Should break quite a bit from his left to right. What a beautiful save. Yeah,
you
nice
were right.
up and
You were confident, as he was, that he would get that up and down. Fourth shot now at 16 for Morales, back to 2 under.
Man, he's in an adventure to getting it to here. See if he can hole it. So he's got still a chance to save bogey. Yeah, you don't like hitting greenside bunker shots to save par.
Torres birdie putt to tie the lead.
To get 5 under. Should slide it a little teeny bit from his right to left. Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Eduardo Derbez Torres, just 17 in his first ever Latin America Amateur Championship, has birdied 3 of his last 4, and he is now tied for the lead with Juan Ignacio Basagoitia of Chile.
Just think, boy, this is pretty simple. First time here, just start right out. 5 birdies early on.
Moment here for Biondi. Missed that short putt. Now he's gone long here.
Yeah, did not expect to have this after that tee shot, but has a really nice lie and going back into the wind.
A little bit on the upslope will help him hit it softly.
I mean, if he doesn't make that going 5-5 here at 11 and 12, he is going to be kicking himself going to 13.
Here's another look at it. See how much uphill it is. It just adds more loft to the club. And so often you see the results, you're trying to hit it softly and you end up coming up too short.
Let's bring in Iona now with Justin Hastings of the Cayman Islands.
I tell you what, I am enjoying watching this young man. 2 cracking shots so far. Give himself another look at birdie. Hitting high, a little flat overall.
Yeah,
just poured it right in.
He's improving as well. Plays college golf at San Diego State.
After that opening bogey, 3 birdies.
He was on that first game with the Morales of Puerto Rico just after 7 o'clock local time. Jarvis now.
He's begging.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Just barely gets it there. And all of a sudden, he's 1 under par. He's made a couple of really nice putts. Last 2 holes.
Cayman Islands on a nice little run here.
What a comeback after that start.
Yeah, he really struggled. And Kobe, you mentioned he drove the ball poorly early, and he's starting to get it together.
That's the maturity. Puerto Rico, just after 7 o'clock local time. Jarvis now.
Here's another look at it.
He's begging.
Oh, yes. Looks like it's going to be short. It just drops in. All of a sudden, he's 1 under par.
And in the wake of his win, the Latin America Amateur Championship, in the Cayman Islands, more junior golf participation. That's what this is about, creating heroes.
Well, the Cayman's Island, there's not a lot of golf courses there. So
just one 18-hole course.
Yeah, so you've got to really be dedicated to get out there and get after it.
And North Sound is the club down there. Now Pinto.
I think he was a little disappointed with the second shot. Felt like he should have gotten it closer with a wedge, but no damage done.
He does have good wind hair, doesn't he? Early spot now for Biondi. This to save the par.
Uphill into the wind. Got to make sure you hit it solid. And that was weak and to the right.
Disappointing last 15 minutes for him. 2 holes that after tee shots, I think maybe you're going to go birdie birdie and you walk out with a par and a bogey. Well, let's see how he can let's see if that affects him, or see if he can bounce back. And he's got a par 5 coming up shortly. And
you won 2 U.S. Opens. You knew how to handle a bogey because they were inevitable at the U.S. Open. What was your trick to get you back on track?
You know, it's very simple. You hear it all the time. You just have to stay in the present. You've got to focus on what shot you're about to play and not what has happened or what's coming up. And I think I was fortunate that at U.S. Open I could do that. I felt very comfortable there. And if you made a bogey at a U.S. Open, it didn't matter. Here, it's a little bit different.
Basagoitia now at 15.
This is a beautiful par 3, 202 yards today. Wind out of the left. If anything, you want to hit it long on this hole. It's a green with a big ridge in the middle, and it goes downhill to the back hole location. Anything back there is good. Anything short is the difficult one. 2-putt or up and in.
T. Aaron Jarvis.
In my opinion, guys, probably the most difficult tee shot here at Grand Reserve. water running all the way down the right, but if you bail out left, there's a lot of palm trees that'll block you out. So really got to commit to a shot here.
Colt, did you ever think about hitting 3-wood here, or was all as a driver?
Well, considering I couldn't hit it out of my shadow, I was hitting driver everywhere. I think I hit driver at 17.
It's about 300 down the left to keep it in the fairway.
Keep cutting.
This one is heading up the left. Wind's trying to move it. That'll be in those palm trees, which depends on if he has a shot or not.
It's a really, really good tee shot, and even the second shot's difficult too, because the penalty area runs all the way up right edge of the green.
I would have to assume for these guys, though, 3-wood is a popular club selection with, like you said, it narrows around 300 off this tee.
Yeah, if you could hit 275 or 280, which a lot of these young men can hit with the 3-wood, it's the widest landing area.
Oh, and that catches that bunker. That is no good at all. If it's in the flat, he might be able to get it to the green. If not, might have to lay up.
There's probably 3 or 4 real critical tee shots on this golf course, and this is one of them.
No doubt about it, especially with that wind pushing it towards that penalty area.
Exactly. If you can put it in the fairway here 4 days, you're going to probably catch the field a couple of shots.
Beyonde once again going with driver, and this one is headed up the left.
It all depends on what you have in front of you. There's a ton of palm trees over there. If you've got an open area, it's not bad at all. The hole cut in that back left, not a lot of green to work with coming from the left.
Co-leader at the 15th.
Not the most difficult bunker shot in the world. Just carried out of the bunker, it lands on a little bit downslope, and it should run to the hole. Well done.
Touch is good.
He's in complete control. Wow. Obviously, he's been spending some evenings in the chipping and putting and hitting some bunker shots back home after a hard day's work. And you know, young lawyers are putting in a lot of hours. They don't get the 8 to 5. They're probably putting 80 hours a weekend.
A reminder, you can have a life in the game without being a professional.
Absolutely. And
Jones embodied that more than anyone in the game's history.
Well, there's been a lot of players that have used golf very well in their business life. Fred Ridley, Chairman Ridley, is a great example of that.
Well, we're at the Grand Reserve Golf Club, Rio Grande, Puerto Rico, northeastern side of the island, 30 miles east of the capital city of San Juan, 200 miles east of Casa de Campo. We were in the Dominican Republic last year. Puerto Rico, you may know, is a United States territory. 3,515 square miles, bigger than the state of Delaware, but smaller than Connecticut. Population of around 3.2 million people. That's roughly the same number as the state of Iowa. Lively place, warm and welcoming people, fun culture, food, like to sing and dance and have a good time.
They've really bounced back after the horrific hurricane that came through here a few years ago, then COVID after that.
That's why I say the last couple of days, the joy here has been palpable.
It's some wildlife you won't see back in the Midwest, I can guarantee you that. These creatures don't come out in the snow.
All right, now Torres from Mexico.
Option either to play a little chip and run or go ahead and putt it, hole high. saying that a poor putt is always much better than a poor chip, and I think that's why the higher handicappers at home, if they can putt the ball, do it. He's off to a fantastic start in his first LAAC. Doesn't look like he's been out of shape or nervous at all.
It's a long birdie putt for Justin Hastings.
Seventeenth hole, a really, really difficult par 3. They can play it up to about 240 yards. Playing a little less than that today, more in the 190 range.
Now back to Pinto.
Boy, Colt, we've got a great look at this bunker. He's right in the dead center of it.
Yeah, has a really good lie, but definitely does not want to be in here. All the way back at 195. Anything on the putting surface would be a great shot. Oh, he caught this fat. Oh, pig suey.
So that did not carry the penalty area, it looked like, from our vantage point.
That is correct. That did find the penalty area.
So he's going to, you know, I think generally this is a shot you worry about playing out of a fairway bunker. Ideally, you want to move the ball back in your stance, make sure that you always get the ball first. Great look at maybe hit an inch behind it. And that is a problem now. Now Jarvis looks like another field goal.
Yeah, no tree problem at all. Up from 161.
Really a good shot, landing it just in the face of a little ridge that protects that left corner of the green.
He settled down after a shaky start.
Yeah, when he came here last year, he was like 1,200 in the world rankings. He's now around 200, so he's made a big improvement. Now Beyonde looks like he shouldn't have any trouble. He got over the palms in front of him.
Yeah, just missed this tree that's right in front of him. Has 159 and a clear shot.
He likes to cut the ball, which helps.
Heading out towards the center of the green. You want no part along here.
So yeah, that was just a good, solid play.
Beyonde among the standouts leading this early wave. A little bit later, we'll get a chance to watch Mateo Fernandez de Oliveira, another favorite, Julian Perico as well.
But really, the path of his golf club is really, really solid. It just looks as if he's not going to hit a lot of poor shots. You know, you're always going to miss hit one here and there, but it doesn't look like he's got that big miss in his golf swing.
Another good save. Asagoidia. Stays tied, 5 under par.
He looks very confident with the putter.
Bounce in his step.
Yeah, he's having a blast. This is way better than doing briefs.
2 from Mexico and 1 from Chile, tied atop the leaderboard here at the Latin America Amateur Championship.
For second here last year. Well, we've got 2 Mexicans tied for the lead. Sutcliffe is going to be hard to live with. Are you listening to us, John?
Stay connected to all the Latin America Amateur Championship action anywhere, anytime. Visit laacgolf.com and follow the championship on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Great digital team assembled here. Good stories, videos, photographs. All right, here's Pinto. Did ask for a ruling.
Yeah, guys, he actually didn't know that it went in the penalty area. Now just trying to figure out what line he can drop on. So he brought over a referee for some help. Was able to get it back in the first cut. He's going to have around 95 yards for his fourth.
Colt, I think that was really a smart play. He could have dropped it 2 club lengths up where it went in the rough, but he was able to get it back here to better lie, even though it's, you know, maybe only 10 or 15 yards difference. I think that was a really good play.
No doubt, much better lie, able to control the spin. See if he can get out of here with just a 5.
This is
a beautiful shot.
Yeah, that was great. If you could make 5 now, that would be fantastic. You can survive a bogey here and there. The doubles just absolutely kill you. Kept his wits about him. You know, so often you see young players hit it in a penalty area and they get a little exercised afterwards and it affects the next one. And he made a great decision and played a perfect shot.
Another spectacular gala opening reception at the Latin America Amateur Championship. We were at San Juan's El Morro, 16th Century Facade and Foundation of Puerto Rico. 28 Latin countries represented, all the dignitaries. The night concluding with the defending champion, Aaron Jarvis, toasting the competitors with the pledge of fair play.
On behalf of my fellow competitors, it is my privilege to declare and pledge our respect to the rules of golf and to show good sportsmanship at all times. Let us all make the most of this opportunity. Good luck and play well. Cheers.
Andy, it's special, isn't it?
Great evening and well done. You were our MC last night.
Appreciate that. It's always a privilege. There's a Jarvis. I asked Roberto Nieves of Puerto Rico, is this the best treatment you get wherever you've gone? And he said, it is the best amateur event I have ever played in. And it's more than just what's available in terms of the Masters invitation possibility and everything else. It's the way they're treated.
Well, it's absolutely first class in all ways. I can tell you that Colt and I would have loved to have this event to play in 100 years ago.
Nice too, to see 20, 21-year-olds in a coat and ties. You don't see that much. It's a much more casual world. Chatting with grown people, 50, 60, 70 years old, have been successful in business or in the sport.
I think that's one of the beautiful things about this golf. Age doesn't mean anything. And, you know, people respect someone who can play. And it's a great opportunity for youngsters to be around older people. I know growing up, I played an awful lot of golf with people who were 10 years older than I. Some of my best friends throughout my career have been 10, 15 years older because those are the guys you played with. And to be exposed to maturity at a younger age is really important.
One of the best things about golf, you learn how to interact in a grown-up world when you're young.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, guys, tough scene out here at 13 when I just feel like I got lumped into the old category.
You're not quite there, my friend, but it's sneaking up.
I was having a great day.
Yeah, there's a couple old guys sitting in here. You're not anywhere near that category. This would be a great save for bogey.
He would feel great walking over to 14 if he can get out of here with 5. That's impressive right there.
That's when 5 feels like 3.
Well, sometimes a save that way gets you going the next 2 or 3 holes, even more so than a birdie or a par. Because you feel like you got away with one. Jarvis cleaning up his par. He's made a nice run here. 2 over early in his round. 3 birdies since. He's fought off a couple of errant tee shots and keep grinding away.
Torres now at 16.
16th hole is a beautiful par 4. He's put it in the left-hand rough. Play uphill to it. One of the few shots that plays fairly uphill on the second. Not a lot of elevation change in this course. Left-hand bunker, a lot of green to work with. Not a horrible place to miss it.
Sagoidia.
Uphill, see, it was hard to get all the way to his left side, which resulted in pushing it out to the right a bit. In the bunker again, we saw him play a nice bunker shot about the same distance on the last hole. See if he can do it again.
The 14 tee. They're in Jarvis.
A great look at this hole from the tee. Another one of those holes that you've got to drive well on. 13 and 14 are two really good back-to-back tee shots. Down the left center, probably Cole to the best position.
Yeah, no doubt. It's about 280 to cover that bunker on the right, which playing back into the wind, I don't think he can cover that. But this is the first tee shot in 7 holes they've played with some hurting wind.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Sit. Sit.
That one headed left, but I believe it stayed up.
Battling case of the lefts today.
Yeah, we saw the one good tee shot he's hit in the last 7 or 8 holes was a hole he tried to cut it on and eliminate one side of the golf course. It's just not synced up. Looks like his angles aren't all working together.
Yeah, it's not good to have it going left here at Grand Reserve. Other than the 13th, all the penalty areas seem to be down the left here.
Not Beyonde. You don't never love it when the hand comes off the club.
That was one-handed. I believe that one's headed left as well. Bounced a couple of times, and then I lost it. Not sure if it stayed up.
A little wobbly in the last 30 minutes or so.
Coming down a bowed wrist at the top. Just looks like his hands took over a little bit more. He wanted to. His normal cut. Curved left. That's not good.
And Andy, I think that's just a product of the last several tee shots. You're trying to hoist it up in the air, use the wind, and now you're trying to knock it down. You might get on top of it a little bit, pull it left.
Absolutely. And subconsciously, you're paying back in the wind. You're probably trying to give it a little bit more, and you don't need to do that. And it'll head left. That was a good one. Well, like you said, he's a modern-day Fred Funk. He just puts it in the middle of every fairway.
Santiago de la Fuente, who was so close at Casa de Campo a year ago. 5 birdies, tied for the lead.
Diamond, I believe, has joined this group. A little bit short.
Transferred from Arkansas Tech, the Wonder Boys, to the University of Houston. Freddie Couples, Masters champion.
Another beautiful drone view this fabulous facility. Hole down on the left, clubhouse right below. Nice practice facility. Really a beautiful golf complex. The players have said just wonderful things about the golf course all week long. Some early rain in the week that it's a little bit softer. As it dries out, it will only become more challenging. Mountains just literally only about 10 miles away. Rainforest area in that. Anytime you see the picture of these palm trees where they're bent a certain direction, that's usually the direction the wind blows all the time. Some beautiful, beautiful views.
Leaders, Derbez Torres at 16.
Yeah, right in the flat part of the bunker, not the most difficult bunker shot in the world. Just pick your spot. You want to land it and then let it release. Just like the doctor ordered. Put it within 4 or 5 feet on that length bunker shot. You'll be very pleased.
Biondi is okay.
Well, it's in the penalty area, but it's playable. Can he stand? Does he have a stance, Colt?
He got very fortunate for this ball to be dry. It's in the penalty area. He's not going to be able to really go push it too far up the fairway, but he can definitely get it back out in play and have something around 200 yards for his third. But guys, these are the kind of breaks you need if you want to win these championships.
Back to Basagoidia at the 16th. He too at 5 under.
Yeah, just fairly straightforward bunker shot. This is one that you can make once in a while. Just pop it out. Not as happy with that one. It's just jumped to the right as it came out of the bunker.
Not a Biondi.
Yes. You see he's going with, short iron, looks like. Just get it back in play.
Yeah, Andy, I mean, he made a mistake off the tee, got away with it. Now you just got to take your medicine. Get it out here. If you make par, great. Let's move on.
Yeah, I think that's really one of the great tips. A bad shot won't kill you, but a back-to-back bag shots will. Hit it maybe 100, 120 yards from here.
That's exactly what he's done. He actually got this pretty far up the fairway.
And he did get it back in the short grass. That's important. Here's a look. It's going to be a little bit muddy. White pants on a day like today, there's a good chance they're going to get dirty. But he did a nice job getting that one back into play. He's going with fairway metal.
I mean, guys, this is on a launching pad. Perfect. Like, he could hit driver off this. That from 248 clipped a tree. And I'll be honest, I have no idea where it went. I did not think the trees were in play.
He clearly was unhappy. In the meantime, Pinto.
He's enjoying this walk by himself down the middle of the fairway. Nice and quiet.
He's got 258, 245 to the front. Playing every bit at 265, 270.
Can he get it there?
I don't think so. And this one looks like it's headed a little short and right. That could be a difficult up and down.
Looks as if it caught the bunker. All depends on the lie.
That's why he was upset. He is in the hazard.
And guys, I took a look at that second shot he had. I thought he had just a perfect window to go right at it.
Par putt now, Derbez Torres.
So get another one up and in. And sliding off to the right. Pulled the second shot into the bunker, hit a nice bunker shot.
Another young man from Mexico, De La Fuente.
Long birdie attempt. Keeping the flag stick in. You'll see that frequently on putts of this length. When the rule changed a few years back, you saw a lot of players doing it from 15 and 20 feet. That's gone away, and it's mainly just on the real long putts. Another par save for our leader.
Pasagoidia.
Another great up and in out of the bunker. 2 in a row.
Some people get up in the morning and do push-ups and sit-ups. We got up this morning and said Pasagoidia, Pasagoidia, Pasagoidia. Trying to become the 4th Chilean to have won the Latin America Amateur Championship. Great start here in Puerto Rico.
Welcome the rest of the world. Jarvis with now his 4th. And he's still got a long, long shot to get it to the green from here. Up on its way, just short of the green. Should be able to get that up and in to salvage a bogey. But what a mistake on the second shot. Catching the tree, catching the... Here's a look. Ball sits down in some of this Bermuda. Yeah, pretty clean strike. He's got a couple of palms he's had to worry about. Just to get the ball up around the green to save bogey here is a good play.
Now Biondi.
He made a really nice play to get the ball back into play.
He's got a 143 back into the wind. Does have a backstop he can use.
Well, it looked like a good swing.
It's on a great line.
I really do love the way he's swinging the golf club. Complete control.
Went way too high.
Beautiful plane. He has really worked hard. He's getting better and better.
Pasagoidia at 17.
Today. Oh, good shot. Yes. And that's very makeable. It's the first birdie opportunity he's had for a few holes.
Back to the 5th. Now De La Fuente. Played a lot at Guadalajara Country Club. Home to the great Lorena Ochoa. And as well, he'll run into, with respect, I don't mean he physically runs into him because he would lose the battle, but he runs into great boxer Canelo Alvarez down in Guadalajara.
Fortunate to have played the Guadalajara Country Club over the years. They had a really good amateur tournament back in the day.
Their best tour is at 17.
Nice controlled golf swing. 17 years old.
He's committed to play college
Beautiful
golf at University of Texas.
Well, he will fit right in. He's got a lot of game.
Pinto at 14.
Just a terrible break. Got stuck right underneath the lip. It's not plugged. Oh boy. Guys, if that ball was in the flat, he would have been fine with a pretty straightforward bunker shot. Just not a good break.
Let's take another look at that. Ball's sitting right up against the lip. Catches it very, very heavy. You know, as a player, you're worried about hitting the lip. And there's so much sand in that area. When they rake the sand up around the edges, that's where so much sand ends up. And It's so soft. It's just a very difficult play. He's on a little upslope. He's got a great chance to get it up and in still. Figuring out who's going.
I mean, Andy, it was a difficult shot, but one he definitely could have got on the putting surface.
Yeah. Jarvis is going to go play first. This is for his par. Just two-putt this and get out of here would be a nice play. All bobbled a little bit on the fringe, but
good speed.
Decent speed, yeah, absolutely.
Love to have that second shot back.
No doubt. I mean, he had to have walked up there and been really excited with what he had in front of him. I don't think he even thought about the water.
Santi Marsilio, this for birdie. Oh yeah,
poured it right in.
Good showing so far for Argentina. 3 are right in the mix. Eddie Schoenbaum, the veteran.
He knows where the camera is. Four birdies, all pars. It's really a nice start.
Pinto is also up there, and here he is.
I'll say this, guys, no matter what happens, he stays so even-keeled. Nothing seems to bother him.
That ball stopped really quickly. Thought like it had a little bit of an upslope. You can see the ball really spinning coming off the club head and getting up very quickly.
17. This to get to 6 would be the first to get a half dozen under.
He's going conventional putting grip on this putt. We've seen him left hand low on the short ones. I guess, oh man, it was right in the middle of the hole and went dead right the last 6 inches. He thought he had that one. I thought he had it. I think Rich thought he had it.
It looked good. Jarvis back to even.
Yeah. Bogey after the second in the waters. Pretty much what he expected.
Torres at 17.
Should have gotten a nice read. Last couple feet of this putt definitely goes to the right. And that's going to hang out there. 2 good chances. Weren't able to get one in. He stays 4 under par. Very nicely.
Biondi at the 14th. See if he can get it rolling again.
Down the hill, but back into the wind, so it shouldn't be too fast.
It's like he shoved it just a little bit. Not quite as aggressive with the putter as he was early in the round.
We all love the drive, chip, and putt. And for more information on this exciting youthful initiative where kids ages 7 to 15 have the chance to compete at Augusta National, go to drivechipandputt.com for more. Not just to grow the game initiative, but generator of smiles.
Yeah.
Good vibes. Now I'll leave a Pinto for par 14.
It's a good up and in after that difficult bunker shot. Well,
to 15.
Yeah, the par 5 15th is really a beautiful par 3. Wind blows hard left to right. Playing just over 200 yards today. You want to be in the back. And even if you miss the green, over the green, or even back left or back right, it's a pretty easy up and in. The difficult part of that hole, if you come up well short, then you have to putt down a big ridge. Beautiful par 3, and the wind really has an effect on the tee shots in this hole. We've seen a lot of balls in the right-hand bunker or to the right of the green. Hard to make yourself start it out over that left-hand bunker and ride the wind. 4 birdies so far, 7 bogeys, and a couple others. But really a terrific par 3. I think this golf course has some beautiful par 3s on it. You can play them from a lot of different lengths. And I think we'll see that over the course of the week.
Right now, the golf course playing about a half a shot over par.
And Andy, this 15th can't play much longer than it is today.
No, it's
202.
Right on the back.
Like you said, if you can get it just over the green, I know that's something we're not used to saying, but that's a great lead.
I mean, when I looked at that hole the other day, I thought, boy, if that pin's in the back, you're almost playing to the back number instead of, you know, a front number and adding on. Let's say it's 206 to the back -4. It would be a good way to think about that hole, because that's the number you're trying to land at almost.
I would take 12 feet from 202.
Oh, absolutely.
But also, I mean, there is a downslope about 10 paces short of this whole location that as long as you cover that, it will feed down towards it.
Colt, how many times you play in the Puerto Rico Open on the PGA Tour here?
I believe 3. It's been a long time. As you said, I'm getting old. I can't remember things.
But how was the hang in Old San Juan?
It is a lot of fun. It's one of those places, if you miss the cut, you were upset, but not too upset, because you knew you could find some fun.
There is that category on tour, best tournaments to miss the cut at.
I can tell you all of them.
Give us 1 or 2, because we want to know.
New Orleans, Dallas, Vegas. Should I keep going?
We get the idea.
Beautiful view from the camera back behind this tee. Literally, to get the ball close, if you're not going to draw it back up in the wind, you've got to start it at the left edge of the screen, just over the right side of that left bunker. Flags in the left give us a great view of what direction the wind's blowing.
I think the difficult part, Andy, is just figuring out if the wind's hurting or helping. You definitely know it's off the left. You just don't know if there's hurt in it. But once again, he's only got one hand on the steering wheel.
It's way left. And that will be a really difficult one. Again, not much green to work with, and it's going to be downhill where he's going to have to land the ball on the fringe or just onto the green. That's a shot I'm really surprised. I didn't see that shot coming. Good solid strike. Did he hit a double cross there, Colt? I mean, was he trying to ride the wind and just pulled it?
I mean, he tries to work everything left to right, and that just was a miss hit and a pull. Segundo, I have to imagine that's something around a 5-iron, but the wind's got it, moving it towards that right bunker.
Oh, just barely carried over it. So he'll have a pretty straightforward little pitch.
18. Co-leader, Basagoitia.
300-yard carry. The back tee down the right edge of this fairway. It's about 270 from this tee. Really an easier driving hole once they move to the second tee. We'll see the back tee, though, this week.
Jarvis at 15.
This one heading left as well. It's amazing, guys. Ever since we turned into the wind, we've started seeing some errant shots.
Yeah, that's a good call. And we're going to see some more into the wind on the next couple of holes.
Torres here at 18.
Really a beautiful driving hole. Back into the players from the right. Put it in this fairway, really set up this hole for a possible birdie. Here's a great look at the 18th. They'll play 2 different tees this week. From the back tee, it's 300 going down this right-hand side to carry that corner. About 310 to go through the fairway. If you can put it in the fairway about 150 yards, you really have a nice birdie opportunity. Hole cut today just over the bunker on the left, about 8 paces on the green. Really a nice finishing hole. You can make a bogey here, you make a birdie, so it'll be exciting on Sunday afternoon. Wind has a lot to do with how the players play this hole.
The surprise of day number 1 would be that guy in red, Basagoitia, 26-year-old lawyer from Chile, having a day. De La Fuente at the 6th.
That was a He had to hit a little draw around one of those palm trees. That really did draw and ran down there. He's in pretty decent position. Good play. Sixth also goes back into the wind.
Everybody raving about the job done here by the golf course superintendent at Grand Reserve, Jason Mados, and his staff. Jason's been a part of all 14 PGA Tour events, 9 as head superintendent that have been played here at Grand Reserve. He's worked with PGA Tour agronomists in Tokyo, the 2020 Olympics, the President's Cup at Quail Hollow, and he has this golf course in excellent condition.
Yeah, and it's, you know, there are a lot of courses you go to that it's real easy to take care of. It might have one kind of grass. Last week at Kapalua in Maui, they're basically a Bermuda, the whole golf course. He's got Paspalum here, he's got Zoysia, he's got Bermuda, so it takes a lot of talent to deal with a lot of different grasses, and he's done it beautifully.
The green's at about 10, 10 and a half. I've said you need to be practical in terms of green speeds because of the potential for 20-mile-per-hour gusts here.
And there's some slopes on these greens. Now Biondi, he really has one that if he gets this within 10 feet, it'll be a heck of a play.
Yeah, this is going to take some talent, Andy. He's got to land this short of the green with it being downwind. I think it's probably a 2-bouncer short of it and then get it to trickle out.
But it's still going to be more of a lob to get it to that point. He can't play a lower shot. He's going to have to.
Yeah, he's got to fly it about 4 yards short of the green, I believe. Just flew it a little too far, but got it to check.
Yeah, he had some spin on that. That leaves himself with a very makeable par putt back up the hill. Just putting yourself in a position, you've got to play a smart shot and don't try to do something. You know, sometimes you try to be too cute, bounce it short, gives you some problems.
So Goedia here, second at 18.
After a good tee shot, coming right over the bunker. See, the hole was cut just over the top of his head. What a shot.
He's a grizzled 26-year-old, isn't he?
He looks like he's done this his entire life.
Jarvis.
Ball sitting pretty clean, but going straight downwind. Going to be tough to stop. I think he caught that fat, guys. That's coming out tumbling.
Yeah, that's just snuck over to the back edge to the green.
Torres at 18.
Back into the players from the right, which I think makes his second shot a little bit easier. You don't really have to mess with the bunker. And he did. The left-hand bunker. So he pulled, rode the wind, but he can get that up and in.
Pinto.
He definitely left it in the right spot. This is when you think about holing.
Obviously the easiest of the three.
Ooh, good aggressive run.
Yeah, nice try. Shouldn't have any trouble handling that for par.
De La Fuente now third shot, 6th hole.
It's the par 5 back into the wind. First time we've seen this. You're going to really spin it back into the wind on these softer greens, so it's going to be a good 20, 25 feet short of the hole.
The 15 with Aaron Jarvis, the defending champ.
Over 20 feet. Should move from his left to right. And guys, we talk about it a lot on some greens that might be a little bit on the slow side. When you're going back uphill and into the green, you got to, first things first, you got to make sure you hit the putt solid.
Absolutely. The tendency on slow putts would be to pull it, trying to give it a little extra. He left it short right in the mouth. Back-to-back bogeys.
You can see it in the body language there. Marcilio second at 16. Looking for a third straight birdie.
Yeah, he has set himself up. Boy, what? That's by far the best second we've seen at 16. And Biondi with a great save at 15.
Keeping his head in the game. He's not had his best stuff the last 4 or 5 holes. But he knows it's a marathon. This is only round 1. Don't want to give away too many shots.
You see almost all the players with caddies that are a little bit smaller than them. They've got a nice program with one of the local schools, and a lot of these youngsters are out here learning about the game. Pinto with a nice par save. Par at 15. You take that every single day and walk to the 16th tee.
Just 2 shots back.
How far we got?
20 players currently under par. And Iona Stephen has caught up with Santiago de la Fuente here at the 6th. This lengthy birdie putt.
I certainly have. Great to see this young man, 21-year-old from Mexico, and he walks around a little bit like a young Colin Montgomery. He doesn't do much in a hurry, very composed, strong player.
I think he'd be surprised, Iona, if you told him that he reminded you of Colin Montgomery.
He may not know who Colin Montgomery is.
Colin Montgomery. All right, Derbez Torres.
Ball below his feet. A little bit of slope from left to right. Just dump it out.
Yep.
Oh, got a little too much ball. Now he's going to be working just to save bogey.
He's playing alongside one of the Chileans. And it was sort of the surprise early on when the Latin America Amateur Championship began. Our focus was on Argentina with the rich history golf, but it was Chile with a developing program that produced, and very quickly, Dominguez and then Ghana in a thriller in Panama, and Joaquin Niemann winning in his home country of Chile in 2018.
I thought the 2018 Latin American Amateur was the event that put this tournament on the map. It was so many local Chileans that had a chance to win, that were favorites, and there were so many youngsters following them that this was another generation now seeing these youngsters play. It was awesome.
Derbez Torres, Mexico's produced. Alvaro Ortiz is a winner of the Latin American Amateur Championship. That was another good one. Casa de Campo in 2019, final round 66 for Ortiz.
Torres has played so nicely all day, and he's kind of letting it all get away here a little bit. Hate to see that. Now he's got to make that to not make a double on the last hole.
Biondi at 16.
Andy, you mentioned you'd take par on 15 every day. I think I would take par on 15 through 18 every day.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah, absolutely. If you could birdie the 14th hole and get in the cart and drive on in and watch from there, it would probably be a pretty good idea.
Pasagoidia.
This to get 6 under. I think this has got to be just outside the left edge. He's going conventional putting grip on this hole. We've seen him go both directions. Beautiful
yeah,
stroke.
go ahead and do that.
Beautiful stroke. Just nice and low, going back and accelerating, going through.
It's maybe a 4th Chilean Latin America Amateur Champion. It is early, but it is an outstanding start for Pasagoidia.
You love to look at those cards and see nothing but circles and pars. 6 birdies, 12 pars. What a beautiful round of golf.
Said his father, Ignacio, who won the Chile Open in 1997, instilled the love of the sport in him. Now Oliva Pinto.
This team moved up 25 yards today, helping the players out a little bit. But no help needed here. This one is striped.
Boy, he looks so solid with the driver. Good call early about how well he drives it.
He's kind of a big putt here for Torres.
Just a little right edge. Punt right in.
Good work right there.
Boy, that's a big save. To get in with 69 couple of bogeys in the last 3 holes, but really a solid round of golf. 4 bogeys, 7 birdies.
That putt for bogey, that shows you some mental toughness. Back to Jarvis at 16.
He's got 3 wood.
That just shows where his confidence level is with the driver, guys. That one does find the short grass.
Yeah, that's important. He's really struggled off the tee. He's put himself into some strange positions, but in most cases been able to get it around.
Tip your cap. 6 under 66 for Juan Ignacio Basagoitia of Chile to lead the opening round from Puerto Rico.
Puta, weón, te voy a dar buena crónica, weón. ¿Sabéis cómo vengo o no? ¿Qué? Ahí sufrido como loco por la cancha.
Sí, boludo. Ya me imagino.
¿Dónde es el scoring? Sorry, where's the scoring? You don't know? Sí, no sé. Tanta cámara, jefe.
Partner, ¿6-8?
6-8, sí.
Revisarla que no la veo.
No, tranquilo. Déjame anotar, déjame anotarle a este weón. Este weón terminó.
Here's our leader. They're walking to sign their scorecard. They really don't know where the scoring spot is. It's behind the clubhouse. There's not signs. So the first day you have to find your way to it. But it's played twice in the LAAC.
Do you know where is scoring? No, not really.
And yeah, as Rich Benson mentioned, his father is a Chilean Open champion in 1997.
Para como este torneo que bueno, hay que andar
A little
buscándole
bit of
algo malo.
confusion trying to find out where to sign your card. It's a big part of the rest of the day. He's played on the national team, South American Amateur. So he's had some great experiences. Now he's a working man, working as a lawyer. I think they found it. I think they know where they're going now. But what a great round of golf. 6 birdies, 12 pars. Fantastic.
Eduardo, ¿cuánto hiciste?
Now, this guy wasn't being talked about a whole lot pre-championship. He is now Juan Ignacio Basagoitia, 26 years old from Chile, 6 under 66 to grab the early lead. Defending champ Aaron Jarvis at 16.
151 up the hill, back into the wind, playing close to 170.
I think Colt just putting in the middle of the screen is a pretty good play.
Vicente Marcilio at 17 from Argentina.
It's another hole they moved the tee up today, give the players a comfortable shot. We'll see this hole playing in the 230 range before the week's over. Yeah, good solid play. Just trying to ride the wind in. He's got about a 30-footer. Not a ton of break in it.
Marcilio working on a bogey-free round.
Yeah,
Back at 16, Pinto.
And I think we will see where his confidence level with his swing is right here. If you can get this past and right of the hole, there's a slope that'll take it right to it. And he hates it.
Sending it well left. Back into the wind. You're trying to play a little bit lower shot. Get over it pretty easily.
Beyond 8 yards closer, 143, but the ball pretty far below his feet.
We've got a good look at that. It's probably a good 6 inches below his feet.
Really got to stay down and through this one. This one headed just a little right, needs to get up. Fortunate to hang on there.
Yeah, it's on the putting surface, probably 20 feet from the hole, so he's got a possible birdie opportunity.
It's 3 under through 8, 1 over since. Again, the highest ranked player in the world amateur golf rankings. He's 20th.
Yeah, here's a great look at how far below the ball was, below his feet. Generally, the ball's going to slide off to the right. But good contact, and he's got it on the green with a decent birdie opportunity.
Plans to turn professional roughly midway through 2023, depending on how things go here. So we're in Puerto Rico. This is the 8th playing of the Latin America Amateur Championship. So much on the line. Invitation to the Masters. We found out today for the first time as well to the U.S. Open at Los Angeles Country Club North in June, and to the Open at Royal Liverpool later this year. Here's the leader. Unlikely, because he's not bucking for a career as a professional golfer. He's already entrenched as an attorney back home in his native Chile. This is Basagoitia.
Well, he has a nice length off the tee with his driver. He's hit a lot of quality shots, but he really rolled the ball beautifully all day long. Here's his third into the 11th.
So he was 4 under, 32 going out. Peppered the flagstick there at the par 5.
Played a really solid round of golf. When he made a couple of mistakes, he was able to get the ball up and in. And here's a beautiful second on the finishing hole. Tough hole location, front left. Just throws it right in there. Setting up a great birdie putt. And here is that birdie putt. Just accelerating right down the line, right in the middle of the hole. Fabulous day on the greens.
So now, a new experience, leading a championship of this caliber, and as well, very soon in front of the cameras. Quite a bit of media presence here this week, and that's something a lot of the players have to get used to, is the television exposure.
I thought it was really interesting, some of the comments from our defending champion Jarvis last year. He said, I was not really in the mix of the stars, and the last day I kind of just played along, and I didn't have to deal with cameras and all this other stuff. He said it was a lot easier.
Let's get down to John Sutcliffe.
Thank you, Rich. Juan Ignacio Basagoitia. What does it mean to get a start of 6 bajo par, 6 under?
No, it was 4 under.
4 under.
Yeah. Well, I played very well today. It's a huge story, man, in the LAAC tournament, because I didn't play well in Chile, and it hurts a lot. I see you in Chile. I think you don't remember. And then in Casa de Campo in 2019, I didn't play well too. So it hurts a lot. It hurt a little. Of course, it's a great week, but to play well today is really nice. It feels really good.
I heard that you were trying to play your last amateur tournament and be a lawyer. How does today's round change Augusta National, and now they announced the U.S. Open in Los Angeles? Does everything change after today and the Open Championship also?
No, really not. I think you have to play hole by hole and minimum day by day. And of course, I play well today, but I think the course is a little short today. So I play in the morning, so it's a difference. When you start earlier, of course you have to play well to do a good round, and hopefully I take advantage of that today. But I think I'm happy being a lawyer. I have been working in Barros Errázuriz. They're going to be happy with that mention. For a year, and I think that's my real job, and the golf is a really good hobby that I appreciate a lot, and I want to play with my family, friends, and my teammates for a long, you know.
Felicidades, congratulations, a great round, and I need some help. Andres Norte is not pronouncing your last name correctly.
Basagoitia.
Basagoitia, Rich. Basagoitia.
Basagoitia. I'm going to be walking around the room tonight going, Monday Night Football. There's no one as good as John Sutcliffe. Love his interviews. And well, you'd like to see that, Andy. Imagine being 26. You're a lawyer. You just shot 66 to lead one of the world's most prestigious amateur tournaments.
Good for him. He's got his head on right.
An accomplished young guy.
Yeah. This game of golf, you don't have to be professional to get a lot of value out of it. You know, to use it in the world of business.
It's so well said, Andy. Biondi.
He had a good putt there. That's really, just thought it would break a little bit to the left. It didn't happen, but that was a nice positive stroke.
Marsilio at 17.
It's just a gentle downhill, a little right to left early, and then the last 3 or 4 feet, it will definitely go to the right. Come on, slide right. Yeah, that was beautiful speed. Well done. It's so nice to see these players really in control of what they're doing. The calmness, I think, shows how so many of these players have matured over the last 3 or 4 years playing in this event. Well, that putt just slid off to the right so quickly, and he's still got a little work to do.
De La Fuente back at the 7. 2 golfers representing Mexico have competed in the Masters. We mentioned Alvaro Ortiz, 2019. He made the cut, played really well. All the way back to the early 60s. Juan Antonio Estrada played the Masters as well. Quite a few have participated in the U.S. Open and the Open. Now, Pinto. Biondi did tap.
Okay. He's been really solid on the shorter putts today. And here's a look at the par 317. It will play anywhere between 235 yards down to probably, this is the shortest we'll see it, at 186. Hole cut in the front left-hand corner. Anything in the middle of the green will slide right to left. There's a little bit of a backstop just below, past the hole on the left. If you throw it all the way to the hole, it will stop there. Wind always blowing from right to left.
Celio did tap in for his par. Great look at 17.
See all these palm trees down the right-hand side, how they're all bent a little bit right to left. The wind always blows that direction.
Comes out of the east here.
And with this hole cut in the left, you know, you throw it out in the middle of the green and let the wind just help the ball from right to left. It'll get a little closer on the ground if it's curving that direction.
I agree, Andy. Everything is working in the player's favor here. Down off the right, going to slope to the right to left when it lands on the green. This is very gettable.
It's hard to say that this is a birdie hole, but with a good tee shot, you should be able to get it inside of 15 or 20 feet here today.
I would say from this tee, it's a birdie hole.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, a right hole location's a whole totally different story. Biondi liking to work the ball left to right, or at least straight, I would think he's still going to aim it to the right of the hole here.
He had a great Arnold Palmer Cup with the international side, unbeaten.
I would have to think this is no more than 8 iron with this helping wind. This one trying to move to the left. It's a ground hook, and it got it.
Yep, perfectly played. I mean, that's a player understanding what the green's like. That's, you know, work you've done in practice rounds to understand what kind of shot you're going to play. That was well done. Here's a look at the club hitting the ball. Really clean strike. Nice divot afterwards. Really releasing the club. Getting onto his left side well.
As you said, with a good shot, you can get to about 15 feet. That's right where he is. Good look at birdie.
player at home sees the flagstick and he tries to hit at it, where the easiest way to get there might be on the ground coming off of a hill. And that's just all understanding that hole.
That one never left the flagstick.
No, and it stopped dead because of the little slope behind the hole. That was really a nice shot.
Jarvis needed that.
2 great birdie looks here at 17. See if we can get a third.
I would tell the players not to get used to this tee.
Yeah.
At some point, we're going to move it back there to about 230.
And you've seen this hole play brutally long from that tee.
I've seen some PGA Tour players donate their hybrid to the jungle behind the tee.
A yard
just
short.
Above, yeah.
But that's a pretty simple bunker shot. That actually got down in that middle of the bunker, not like we saw a couple holes ago for him.
A lot of options with the tee boxes here. The goal is to have these guys play every club in the bag through the round. And right now it's Ignacio Basagoitia from Chile leading at -6.
There's a big difference between 6 and 4 under.
From that vantage point, looks somewhat ominous, but here, blue skies and palm trees. Near the rainforest here and mountains in the background of Puerto Rico. De La Fuente at 5 under. This is 17th hole of the day.
8th hole is a beautiful par 4. There's been some talk that this is a possible hole. They could move the tee up a little bit and turn this into a drivable.
This was earlier Pinto at 17.
0 for 3 so far today out of greenside bunkers. And this one's not good either. Boy, he is struggling from around the greens.
He's been so solid with every other portion of the game. The last bunker shot he had was a difficult lie. That one was more straightforward, just didn't play it quite well enough.
And you mentioned, I mean, that's when you're practicing, it's about as straightforward as it gets.
I mean, those are the kind that when you really think you've got a chance to make, you just fairly flatter on the hole, throw it in there on the right line. But he's got a little work to do to save par.
See El Yunque in the background, one of the U.S. National Forest System, the only tropical rainforest, 28,000 acres in size.
If you're into hiking, there's some amazing hikes up there. We could probably do that this afternoon when we get done. Go about a 10-miler up there in the mountain.
Wore me out just walking back from the golf course to the hotel yesterday in the mud. Ruined a nice pair of white sneakers. We had a good chat. Biondi now for birdie to get to 3 under. Get one back. Be his first birdie since the 8th hole.
12 feet moving from his right to left.
Turn. Oh, wow.
Wow.
It straightens out a little bit the last couple of feet. He thought he hit that perfectly. I always love to see the players' reaction when you know they've hit it exactly the way they wanted to. So easy the first 7 or 8 holes. Made 3 birdies early. Let's take a check of his reaction. I know I made it, but it didn't go in.
De La Fuente now at the 8th.
Great birdie look. Just barely missed it. Well, we'll make this a fun drivable hole. There's a little bit of Penley area around the green. Pinto for his par save.
And guys, you know, they've switched the 9s here at Grand Reserve to whereas I think it's going to make a huge difference in the finish of this golf tournament. You know, the other side, it's 4 birdie holes coming in. This side, it's 4 very difficult holes.
I really do like the idea that they did change it for how they played it during the Puerto Rican Open.
A little bit grindy for Pinto and a couple of others at this point. And we're only just getting started here. It's the opening round, the 8th playing of the Latin America Amateur Championship. We're in Puerto Rico. Jarvis pretty much covered the flagstick on his tee shot at this par 3. Now to get back to even par.
Quick one down the hill.
Nice deuce.
2 pina coladas.
Nice birdie after a couple of bogeys.
Vicente Marcilio playing well.
Middle of the fairway, hole left front. Just over a bunker. You want to carry a couple of yards over the bunker and it'll end up very close. Or you throw it past the hole and spin it back a little bit. The hole's always going to play into the right to left wind. He likes it. He sets himself up for another birdie.
I like it. Featured group arriving now at the 18th tee.
Yeah. And this tee moved up about 30 yards today. So I mean, they're giving him a chance to go low today, guys.
Yeah, it's a beautiful finishing hole. As Colt mentioned, they moved up a tee. Usually the hole's more in the 450 range. I like to just put it out here about 280 or 90 off the tee. Give yourself 160 or so yards into the middle of this green. Hole's cut in the left front today. Always going to be back into the wind and a little bit out of the right. Most of the balls will be in the left center of this fairway. Going with 3-wood.
That's it. Thanks. Seems to be much more comfortable with that club. That is perfect and long.
That's in perfect position.
Played practice rounds at both the Masters and the Open with, among others, John Rahm. He said he was surprised how much fun the pros have at the golf course. They talk to each other, they vibe, they crack jokes. Serious, yes, but they have a good time. And the amount of discipline they have when they play. Rarely short side themselves. Rarely 3-putt. Fred Biondi.
Very confident swing there.
He's made some really good swings. That's why the tee shot at the par 3 17th was such an outlier.
I mean, Andy, I'll be honest, he has not gotten much out of his round today.
No, absolutely not.
How about this guy, Pinto, Colt?
I mean, if it wasn't for a few greenside mistakes, it would be a really nice round. But, I mean, he just steps up and sends it right down the middle, it seems like, every tee shot.
That's a good place to start. This ball's going to sneak just through the fairway in the first cut of rough, but not bad at all.
Beautiful beaches of Puerto Rico, and we're the 18th. This Vicente Marcilio, good-looking player, Andy.
Yeah, he really is, and he's fairly accomplished. I mean, here's some player that very quietly just sort of goes about his business. And you love those scorecards where there's a lot of circles and no squares. And he has done that today.
Junior at North Texas. Last summer competed in the St. Andrews Links Trophy in Scotland, and as well the U.S. Amateur at Ridgewood Country Club in New Jersey. He was part of the winning Argentine team in the South America Amateur Team Championship for a second straight year. He's well traveled, and he's growing up in this game, 21 years old.
This is a really nice look. It's a little bit back uphill. He can be aggressive. He's rolled the ball fantastic today. Just a little bit slower, and you don't feel like you're going up the hill, but you are.
He's one of 3 current members of that North Texas Mean Green team in this year's field with Diego Prone and Felipe Thorin. One individual college win for Vicente. That came at the Conference USA Championship a couple of years ago. Runner-up a year ago and right back at it. Good chance as we get started here. So this the 8th playing. We have 108 players from 28 countries and territories across the region. And Chile with the most titles at 3. This is the first time we've played the event here in Puerto Rico, and it's the 6th different country to have hosted the Latin America Amateur Championship, going back to the inception 2015 in Argentina.
And there's 31 players that this is their first LAC, which is fantastic. There's new blood coming in every year. The golf swings have really improved. The scoring has improved. This has made a huge difference in golf for the young folks this part of the world.
So here we are at the 18th fairway. You look ahead, it's blue skies. You look back, it's clouds over the mountains.
That's why there's a rainforest there, because it rains a lot. But the big rains for the golf course don't come from that direction. They come more basically looking at that out of the left. 3 nice tee shots at 18.
Yeah, Segundo is going to be first to go. Has 124 yards out of the first cut, and this is a hole location I think you have to go right at. There's a big fall off right of this hole, but then also if you overdo it and get a little too aggressive, there's a big fall off left.
I think the one advantage here with this whole location Colt is that it's back into a little bit of breeze, so the ball's going to stop very quickly. Celio last group literally threw it 18 feet past the hole and spun back 4 or 5 feet, so the ball will stop quickly there.
Yeah, like coming in with no more pitching wedge. The other two are going to have some type of sand wedge. So this is green light here, guys.
How many birdies out of the 3?
I'll set the over-under at 1.5.
I think that's right on.
This one's got to go. That's going to hurt.
Short right. That will not be a very easy pitch coming up uphill quite a bit, and then it flattens out.
Biondi.
108 yards. Just throw this one a little right of the hole, let the wind move it. See if you can finish your day off with a birdie. The under's looking good.
Aaron Jarvis.
Same numbers beyond it, just 108. He just laid the sod over it. That's 20 yards short of the green.
That would be so difficult to get it up there.
We'll come back and see this featured group finish up here at the 18th hole of the Latin America Amateur Championship.
It's 2 chunks today.
We're live. This is Segundo Oliva Pinto from Argentina. Been leaking oil here late.
I mean, all three of these players had nothing more than a wedge in, and it has become stressful.
He runs the risk of making 4 bogeys in his final 6 holes.
Hope the over-under 1.5 was perfect, but it was for bogeys.
Good call. You know, people don't like to bet the under. I knew what I was doing with that line set.
It sounds like a veteran at doing that.
Well, you confirmed a few holes ago I was old.
Biondi's got about 20, 25 feet. He's really hit a lot of good shots today and hasn't gotten as much out of it as I think he would have hoped. See if he can knock this thing in and finish up on a nice positive.
I mean, I watched him play 3 par 5s today, and he made par on all of them. So that's something he's going to have to clean up going forward, because we mentioned the par 5s are very gettable here.
You know, you take what he's done on every other hole, you birdie those holes, and all of a sudden this is a terrific round.
I think he's a name all these other players, when they're scrolling through, they're going to take notice where Fred Biondi is at all times.
So Biondi was 3 under through 8, 1 over the rest of the way. 33, 37 in all, respectable. 2 under par, 70 for Fred Biondi. We have a new leader, Vicente Marcilio. You see Juan Ignacio Basagoitia now at 4 under. There was a glitch in the data scoring system here. They have updated it. It is being worked on. So he is at 4 under par after having shot a 68. John is with Vicente Marcilio.
Vicente, what does it mean, 5 under, you're the clubhouse leader, to give yourself an opportunity after last year in Casa de Campo being so close?
Yeah, it means the world to me right now. Obviously a dream to start this way, but this is just the beginning. Like we always saw in the back 9 on Sunday, that's where the tournament truly starts. So very happy to start it off this way, to give me a chance for that back 9 Sunday.
We know that there's an opportunity to play the Masters, the Open Championship, and today it's been announced, and also the U.S. Open. What are your first impressions on that?
Wow, that's incredible. He was very good. He was good enough to start with just the Masters and the Open, but now 3 majors, that's the same as the USM award at the same time. So that's pretty cool.
Well, thank you. Maybe if Messi got it done, maybe one of you guys can get it done this week for Argentina, huh?
Obviously, the illusion is still alive forever.
Gracias. Vicente, back to you guys.
Yeah, Abel Gallegos is the lone Argentinian to have won the Latin America Amateur Championship. That was in Mexico a couple of years ago. Now Pinto.
His teammates, he told me he's a very aggressive putter.
Not done yet.
That one was smashed.
Back to the 9th. This is the final hole of the day for Mexico's Santiago de la Fuente.
2 big shots just short of the green. Can he take advantage of it? Looks good.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of speed, but boy, that was very nicely done. Great birdie opportunity.
Pinto at 18.
He's going to be very disappointed. He really had a great round going and let it slip away a little bit.
Bogey 4 of his last 6.
Yeah, that's a tough way to finish the day, but a lot of golf left.
With the outright lead.
No, oh, wow, did that ever break? That fooled him. Anytime you make a par 5 when you're right around the green in 2 is always disappointing.
So 2 at 5 under par. 1 from Argentina, 1 from Mexico. Fred Biondi, the highest ranked player in the field, solid at 2 under par, 70, having just completed his round. So many thanks to Sellers, Shy, and Mike Crow, leading all of the hard-working men and women in the truck and on the ground. Day one of the Latin America Amateur Championship is in the books from here in Puerto Rico. Winds kicking just a little bit, enough to provide a challenge. For Andy North, Colt Knost, Iona Stephen, John Sutcliffe, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now from beautiful Puerto Rico and the Latin America Amateur Championship.